So whatever the opposite of yes fight is, like that's the Sixers right now.
Yes.
Wolf. 2-11 against the spread in their last 13 games. They're going up against the Celtics tonight. Celtics on a back-to-back, but they're still laying 14.5 points. This feels like one where maybe the number matters, but still, I'm not in, the camp of saying, hey, the Sixers, that looks like a team that I want to bet on, because even when they're getting some of these big numbers, like last time around, they're getting 13.5 points against Minnesota. Did not win, did not cover. So it's just a team that is in a free fall right now. We know they've had like all kinds of issues. Now Tyrese Maxey is back, is day to day in this one. Podcast P, day to day as well. So it just feels like the Pets' heads are falling off in Philadelphia, and they haven't even been covering numbers. Like that's the worst part. If you're getting double-digit spreads, it feels like every night, and you're still not covering, you're going against the Celtics, who have the most depth of any team in the NBA. Like, this is not a good matchup. Lucy, are you going to be on the Celtics tonight?
So this is a game I might actually stay away from, because I tend to, when I bet on the Celtics to cover, they don't. And a lot of times by the hook. Like yesterday, their spread earlier in the day was 10.5. And they won by 10. So it's confusing with the Celtics sometimes. So I might stay away from this one. The Sixers are cooked. I mean, that's undeniable at this point. Paul George stepped away from his podcast to help them make a playoff push. Is the playoff push in the room with us? Because that's not going to happen. But that's absolutely not going to happen. But the thing with the Celtics that I've found, and that, we found as viewers, as fans, that sometimes against teams that aren't as good, the Celtics take their foot off the gas. They take it a little bit lightly. And I'm not saying the Sixers are going to win this game, but I wouldn't be super shocked if the Celtics only won this game by 10 or won this game by 13 and still didn't cover this spread. So this is why I am staying away from this game. Though were I betting on it, the Sixers plus 14.5 is not the craziest thing in the world, because sometimes the Celtics let up a little bit. I am a little skeptical. That's why I'm staying away from it. Again, that's why I'm staying away from this. I will be viewing it, but betting on this, I wouldn't know where to land, because which Celtics team is going to show up? The one that cruises and kind of doesn't have all gas, little bit of gas pedal, not pushing on it a little bit. And the Sixers, maybe they have a good day for some reason. I don't know if that could happen, but that's why I'm staying away from this. The money line minus 1,000 for the Celtics here. I think they will win the game. But that covering could be a different story.
Right. And this line's gone to 14.5. So like it's getting uglier as we speak. And if you're looking at the Celtics on back-to-backs this year, they haven't been that good, just 5-4, which is kind of surprising because, like I said, they do have a ton of depth. They don't even need their starters to like really do that much because their bench is that good. So I don't want to be sweating a 14.5 spread with a game that I don't even want to watch. So we'll move on, and we're not betting on that one. All right, so how about the Knicks and the Lakers? This one appears to be a good one. Lakers laying 4.5 at home, total of 229.5. I feel like this is a pretty simple handicap for me. The Lakers are scorching right now. They've got 11-2 since maybe I need to update that. I think it's 11-2 since bringing over Luka Doncic. And it feels like the Knicks are one of those teams that when they play top in competition, they just wither. Like their record against teams that are like the top teams in the league is not good. So I feel like they've been weighed, they've been measured. And so against some of these top teams in the NBA, I'm not a huge believer in the Knicks, especially when you go on the road. Obviously, you always look at the injury report because things pop up. Obviously, for the Lakers, it feels like LeBron is just a staple. Oh, he's always questionable. It's fine. But not really a question in this one. I believe he is going to play. So Lucy, for me, feels like it has to be the Lakers, a team with 7 straight wins, I believe, and they've covered in 6 of those.
Yes, I am all over the Lakers. I love the Lakers right now. They have been covering, as you said, the Knicks, not so much. They have not covered in their last 2. Lakers have covered in their last 4, and in their last 4 at home, they have covered in 9 of their last 11. Also, the Knicks have only covered once in their last 4 on the road. I love the Lakers. As I have said, I have them getting to the finals. So I am very high on the Lakers right now, who are very scorching right now. So hot
Mhm.
at the right time, if they can sustain this, which I believe they will, I like them a lot going forward to make a massive push this season and a massive push tonight as they roll over the Knicks, perhaps, and cover this spread -4.5.
Yeah, I certainly like them tonight laying the 4.5. The only question I have for the Lakers in the Western Conference is that they couldn't stop Nikola Jokic when they had Anthony Davis. So I don't know how they're going to stop Nikola Jokic without Anthony Davis. So I don't know. I feel like that's a bad matchup. The Nuggets have kind of ended their season, I think, like 2 or 3 of the last 3 seasons in a row. So I do believe in the Lakers, but if they draw the Nuggets, that's going to be a tough matchup for LA. Elsewhere, let's go to the Magic Kingdom. Orlando laying 6.5 at home against the Bulls, total of 219.5. The Magic are one of those teams that are certainly not going to outscore you, but they at least do have good defense. But times have been tough in the Kingdom lately for Orlando. Jalen Suggs now out for the indefinite future, but the Bulls are obviously not a great team. So this is not one that I'm going to be betting on. But Lucy, is there anything you think better should know about the Bulls and the Magic?
Yes, I think I am going to take the Bulls here. They're not a great team. However, I think I'm going to take advantage of this spot and bet on them +6.5 because the Magic have not covered in their last four and they've lost their last four. And at home, they have only covered in 3 of their last 9 games. So I think if any
Mm-hmm.
game the Bulls are going to cover in, it could be this one. I think it will be this one. That's why I am taking the Bulls +6.5. They have covered in 5 of their last 7. And on the road, they have covered in 2 of their last 3. So covering lately has been successful for them. So if there's one game, maybe the rest of the season, I'm going to take the Bulls. Maybe this might be the last one, but against the Magic, I think the Bulls can at least keep this closer and cover +6.5.
I think especially when you're talking about a team with a defensive personality like Orlando that's not going to score many points, 7 points is a lot. Like when you're only
Yeah.
scoring like 107 points a game, something like that. That's where the questions start for me. I would even take a look at the under here just because again, that's kind of the personality of this Orlando team. They have trouble scoring and they've hit the under in 7 of the last 9 games and their over under record at home this year 12 and 21. 21 of those games hitting the under. This has been an under machine because they simply can't score. If you look at 3-point percentage, they're the worst team in the NBA. So they are not firing away from long range. They are not going to pile up the points. And the total in this one's pretty healthy at 219.5. So I think maybe look at the under there or you just take the points with the Bulls. But this is not one that I think I can even watch. Like, I think it's one of those games that's on like NBA TV, and it's like, well, too bad. You'll be box score checking if you bet on this one.
Something like 2B plus. I think maybe that's where this will be. I'd be intrigued a little bit to see how many points are. I will like the under, but to see how this game is played and how many potential
Mm.
points are not scored to hit the under here, and just how this game plays out because I do a little bit of like I kind of want to see how bad this can be, but I also have a bet in this game, so I would like to view some of this game. Perhaps I will be watching the Celtics, but I can't wait honestly for the game of the evening, Bulls Magic.